Hi, Stitchers.
Hi, I'm Keisha.
I'm Laura. Welcome to the Pattern Queens, episode 159. Today is Sunday, October 6th, and this is a channel about cross stitch.
And friendship and rambles and lots of shenanigans and happy Mad Hatter's Day because on
Oh,
his hat has the 10/6. So happy Mad Hatter's Day.
oh, that's so fun. I'm going to tilt my computer down a little bit because I feel like I was just a floating head
Oh
there.
yeah.
We want to welcome you all to our video. You can tell that we are just totally professional and
Oh yes.
everything runs smooth as silk every time.
Every time.
Um, thank you all for coming, for commenting. We love to see your comments. We have so much fun with them. We had a couple of comments about um autumn things on our last video, which was a stitch with us. And it's been fun to have people checking in and to
For
kind of
sure.
know who's out there hanging out with us.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out.
So what's new with you this week?
Um, Not a whole lot. Went to a birthday party yesterday for one of James's friends. That was fun. Uh, Owen is officially 6 months old, so he's halfway to a birthday himself. So that's exciting over here. But other than that, just kind of going through stuff. Nothing exciting. How about with you?
Well, I would like to point out that I have on the Chiefs today and you have on the Royals color. I know that's
Okay,
not your baseball team, but it's the Kansas City teams and the Royals are in the playoffs.
they are. The Royals are my American League team,
There
so
you
that's
go.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I feel like they're just kind of the little engine that could this year. They
Oh
just
yeah.
kind of pushing along and working, and
Yes.
they won the wild card this
They
last week.
they had a terrible season last season. So it's really surprising. So yeah, we're really excited about baseball over here too.
It's so funny because I think Kansas City kind of doesn't know what to do because the Royals haven't had a really good positive season for a while. The last time we were in the playoffs was 2015.
Yes, and that's when we
So,
won it. So,
and I read a stat that we have been the last three times that we have made it to the playoffs, which is like 1984 or 1985,
mhm.
2014 and 2015, that they made it to the World Series both time or all three times.
Yeah, yeah, they did because they lost to the Mets in 14, then they won in 15. And then yeah, of course they won in 85. So,
Hmm.
interesting.
So that, I mean, that's just, I love little trivia things. Keisha and I are obviously, Keisha is an accountant, which I don't
Mhm.
think I mean, we don't always talk about our jobs, but
Right.
I think she's spreadsheet driven and data
Yes.
driven, and I'm
Hmm.
a planner. So
For sure. Oh
for
yeah.
sure,
No, I love little stats like that. So,
it's so fun. The
mhm.
other fun thing is that we went to see The Wild Robot,
Oh, okay.
and I was pleasantly surprised by that. I From the previews, I kind of didn't really know what I was getting into,
Hmm.
but it was just a nice movie. And I was so tired. I thought, okay, I'm just going to go with the kids. And if I fall asleep, I fall asleep. We have the passes. So,
Hmm.
we already pay for those every month. And I was just going to go and just hang out and be there with the kids. But
Sure.
it ended up being a really good movie. So,
Oh, cool. Good to know. We've seen previews for it. So it's if you haven't seen it, it's like a DreamWorks movie. It's
yes.
an animated. And we saw a preview for it before Despicable Me 4. And I thought it looked cute, so maybe we'll have to take James to go see it.
And the other one that I saw with Brie was the new Transformers movie, which is
Oh,
actually
okay.
Transformers 1.
Uh-huh.
And it was just Brie and I together. Katie didn't want to go to that one. And it was lovely to just sit with her and listen to her enjoy the movie. And
Yeah.
I mean, I had a good time. It's an animated movie, obviously. And it was just fun to sit through and to kind of get the backstory and
Yeah.
just go through
Sure.
the whole thing. So I've
That's
had
fun.
movie experiences this week.
Awesome.
Um, let's move on. I know that we both have a finish.
Yes, we do. Do you want to do yours first or me first?
You first, and I'm going to look up one of my other projects that I forgot to pull a picture for.
Okay, sure. So I finished Evening Stroll from Autumn Lane Stitchery. And this was a kit, so it's all the kit materials. But here it is. I finished
Wow.
this. I finished it last month, so this was finish number 15 for the year, and my finish for September. And it came with this frame, so I'm gonna have to pop it in the frame, but I haven't
That'll
gotten
be
around.
fun. Now, where are there beads on that one?
Here, I'll get in there. So you can see
Oh,
the
okay.
leaves are beaded. There's a lot of beads in her skirt. There's beads for the ghost eyes and just some accents around the black there.
That is so fun.
Yes, I really liked this one.
Are you hoping he does another one?
Yeah, I would stitch. I have a couple of Autumn Lane patterns, but I've never finished one. I've started a couple. So I really liked this one. I liked his use of beads and everything. So,
Awesome. Okay, my finish is one of my older whips, and it is from a 2006 retreat, and it's called No Idleness. Now, I had
mhm.
already determined that I was not going to do that's felted wool that's on there for the flowers, and I had already decided I wasn't going to do that. And I just have been, every time I think about working on this, I get stressed out and irritated, and I don't want to do it. So I have decided this is it. It is finished,
Mhm.
and it will be a long pincushion pillow.
Perfect.
And I actually think I'm going to keep it out and finish it because then, that fits more in with what I had there. But that
Oh,
was my finish number 23 for the year.
awesome.
Did you want to say yours?
Oh, I said it was number 15 for the
Keisha has had one every month, and because I'm counting this as a finish, so do I. Now we're
year.
on the
Nice.
struggle bus to get to a finish for this month.
Hmm. And I'll show you my plan for that in whips.
Hmm. Okay, speaking of whips, I am going to start with my long dog because that's what's on top.
Hmm.
And I am thinking I'm finishing all the cross stitches this month, but let me tell you my sad, sad story.
Okay.
I was sitting stitching the other night, and I had put in a little over 300 stitches. I had put in 310 stitches. And I looked and realized that the next two rows that I had above it for that motif were up one stitch too high.
Oh no.
So I frogged 315 or 316 stitches.
Oh
So I actually had a net of negative 6 stitches for the day.
no.
However, yesterday, um, and I'll talk more about that when I get to things, I decided to make it just my project for the day. And I managed to do, if I can get back here, 724 stitches on it yesterday. So I got the day's stitches in plus the stitches I had to frog. So
Mhm.
that was a good goal. And this is where it is.
Wow.
I'm getting so close. So it was the two rows that I've started putting in on top here.
Hmm.
Well, actually, I guess it's three. It's a straight line row, and then a group of four, so three across and one on top. But this band, it was good because once I had the pattern, I could just go on it.
Right.
And the same thing with the two bands above. So it was pretty easy to get going on it and get back across there and make up my time. But I have, what I've saved this quadrant for the end because it has
Mhm.
the bull, it has the whale eating people. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just kind of a fun spot. And I just have to stitch,
Mhm.
stitch, stitch. So
Oh,
that is my first one there. And then I've been stitching a lot, switching a lot. So I'm going
mhm.
to do a couple and then Keisha will do some. Okay. My next one is my school project, which I counted this week as my piece for our friend Cece's birthday. They wanted you to
Mhm.
stitch on something with pink, um, something coffee themed. You could stitch or knit, um, and it could be a whip or a new start. So my school piece is Coffee Quaker by Heartstring Samplery. And since you guys have seen this, I finished the words.
Wow.
And I think I did the birds underneath too. I don't know if I showed those last time. And I've started next to that kind of that flower or tree looking thing. I've started the
Mhm.
next motif, so it'll go in there. But this motif is at the top. So that's what I have left.
Wow.
So this will be finished this year because if I don't finish by winter break, I'm bringing it home and finishing it.
Right. Cool.
But I get about mm, 10 to 15 minutes a day at school on it. And I've been amazed at how much I can get done in that time.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay. So that would bring me up to our start with our friends.
Okay. Well, let's show it then. So we started with a couple of our friends, Izzie Dekayen from Silver Creek Samplers. This is one that I didn't know existed, but as soon as Laura showed it to me, I was like, I need it. I love skeletons. So here's mine. It's on a piece of 40 count Valor from Picture This Plus. And here's my little start. And I'm switching up all of the flosses on here. So there's this little
And
head.
Keisha starts kind of up at the top left.
Yes.
Is that the very top? He is the very top.
He's the top
Okay.
left.
Mine is on 32 count purple coneflower from Color and Cotton. And I started in the bottom right. So I have the bones and I have aged. And I'm starting on the casket. Those are the extra lines next to it.
Very cool.
So it'll be really fun. So we're doing this with
Yeah.
our friend Jennifer and our friend Tara, who is on Flosstube as Wilda Woman Crafts. It looks like wild with an E on the end, Wilda Woman. And or Wilda Woman Stitching, not crafts, sorry. And yeah,
So fun.
go check her out.
Yes.
And that will come up in my stitching this month.
hmm
I think
Yeah,
yours
me too.
too.
Uh-huh. All
So then
right.
next, last week on Sunday, we started Orange Tree Sampler by Carriage
Mhm.
House Samplings. You want to show yours?
Yes. So here is my start. And I'm actually using
So cute.
the called for, this is Vintage Country Mocha, and I'm doing 36 count linen. So I've
Um,
got the moon and a start of the owl.
and I was trying to quickly find my tag on this. I put it on our thing last week, so you will know what it is if you want to look down below. I'm just not
Mhm.
spotting the card down in here. I want to feel like it was called Autumn Squash or something, but it's
It's
color and
beautiful.
cotton. Woohoo! Look, I have a line.
Nice.
So but this is on 32 count how
Hmm.
wide our piece will be. There are like 4 stitches out on either side past this
Hmm.
line.
So it's gonna be a small one.
Yeah, it's not going to be real big, but how fun.
Yes, for sure.
I was really excited about both of these. And
Hmm.
um, Orange Tree Sampler kind of finished off our sampler September, but I managed to make it fit in my um, September stitching or my October stitching. And Keisha helped remind me that I could fit it in on the magazine monthly challenge acrostic.
Hmm. No.
So the next one I have is Rose Quaker by Stickideen von der Wiehenberg, which Keisha just likes to hear me say.
I do. But I like this piece a lot too.
And it's come on, can you just be pretty? It is this one.
So fun.
And I have I made it this far during September. So I did really good. I finished off this motif, yes, and then moved toward I was trying to think. I had the center one, so I did the one here in the corner, did it completely, and then I moved across and under the N worked on the motif there. So I have it and one more motif over here, which will be the same pink
Hmm.
over here to make the corner over here.
Oh, wow.
So I felt pretty good this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. You almost got corners.
That's always exciting, right? To just get to
Hmm.
the corners.
Right.
And it is so appropriately housed in this bag from the 805 Stitcher.
I
So
love
it
that.
just is fun. And inside, you can't see it very well. Inside this one, it has all these cat faces.
Oh, fun.
But the Rose Quaker, that's where it should be.
You like the Rose Quaker, you like those cats. It makes sense.
And my one of my last ones, let's see if I flip these, then I have them. So then I worked on Motif Musings from T.A. Smith Designs. This is the one that my sister won because she named it. And this one is huge. So I have to get it turned the right way. Oh, and I have a big old blob of floss on it. I did. Okay. I finished off this big motif and
Wow.
I finished a lot of both the top and the bottom border to pull that across. I did this A and the little piece underneath it, and I started on this motif, and that's where my floss ran out.
Okay.
But I have this much done. The fabric, you guys, is this long.
Wow.
And I'm not quite sure if I need the whole thing, but I need a big chunk of it. I think I am
Right.
at like a fourth of the way across this thing. It's just massive. And I
Yeah.
love this. And this is one that probably will be on my whip list next year to pull out. Because
Mhm.
every time I work on it, I love the fabric. It's just a standard gray fabric from orange margins. So from Zweigert.
Yeah.
And I love my floss, which is a thread gatherer, not a thread gatherer, a thread works.
Mhm.
And it's just nice fabric to stitch on. The whole thing is nice. One
Yeah.
strand, over two.
Great.
So yeah.
Very
There's a
cool.
table right behind me and it's right next to my cubbies. So things that I need to put away, I need to just kind of throw up there so that I will
It's
put
like
them
you're just
away. Yes.
chucking it across the room.
And my last one for September is the 2008 Mystery Bonus Sampler from Blackbird Designs. That's the whole thing. This house is what I was working on.
Mhm.
And I got, well, first of all, I figured out my specialty stitch in here, and I was making way more work for myself. So when I changed and did it the way that they intended for me to, I finished all of the grapes and
Hmm.
put in a little more on the house.
That one is so beautiful.
I love this piece, and yes, I would love to get it done, but I'm not crazy enough to think, oh, I guess this didn't show the whole thing. This only showed four of them. The house is right in the middle. This one. There's what the whole thing will be.
Mm. Okay.
So I'm right in the middle on the house and then have two more to go after that.
Mhm.
But this is a fun one to stitch on. It's R&R fabric. It's 35 count KC blend.
Ooh.
So love that. And I say R&R fabric, that's Dying to Stitch is their shop. So, okay, that catches me up through September. How about you?
Yep, I'm done with September too. So we want to get into our October
Okay, go ahead.
stitching. Okay, so the Black Needle Society is hosting Hober Stitching. So basically, what we did is, well, there are different prompts that you try to get your stuff to fit into. They did a whole video over about it over on the Black Needle Society's Flosstube page. So you'll have to go check that out because you'll see all of Laura's stuff over here, but you can see it twice. And Katie has great stuff too. Um, so anyway, I watched that video and then Laura told me what her schedule was. And so then I lined up projects that I have with when she was stitching things. So, but I'm not, I think Laura has 13 unique projects that she's going to work on. And I have four that I'm making fit prompts. And one I'm just putting in because Laura is putting it in and I wanted to work on it at the same time as her.
Me or
So
Kate?
Well, one is the one that I'm working on a ton is one that Katie is working on.
Okay.
So you're working on Orange Tree Sampler,
Oh,
and
okay.
I wasn't going to work on that one, but since you're pulling it on too. So the prompts that we worked on this week were something with a black cat we worked on from the first through the third, and something with a crow, the fourth and the fifth. And what I worked on fits both of those prompts. I've pulled out Halloween wreath from the frosted pumpkin. This is the completed thing. I'm not anywhere close.
So there's a
Um,
crow on that one?
there is a crow. He's over here.
Ah, I just don't think I
So,
ever spotted him in all of that.
yep. So there's the crow. There's the black cat.
And we get to see your cat, and it's adorable.
Yes. So this is on a piece of 28 count pewter from Picture This Plus, and it's just the called for. I got this as a kit. So I got all the black done in that cat.
That is so
So
cute.
that's mostly what I worked on. I got all the black done in the cat, and then I filled black eyes and fill in on the other things in this section of it. So I'm still going to work it section by section as it was released because this was a sal that was released in parts. But
Well, so I picked two prompts together that just worked well for you, right?
yeah, well, the thing about Halloween is this thing has like, oh, has everything in it. It's got a witch, it's got a frog, it's got a crow, it's got a bat, it's got so.
Um, I took mine and put them on a wheel,
Mhm.
and then I just spun. And I had pre-selected, how many do we have? 4 projects that I would do 3 days each on them. And so when they came up in the spin, they went to the 3 day slot, and everything else I just tucked into the 2 day slots in between them. So my first one is Jumping Cat by Dames of the Needle. I was sure that I could get this whole black cat done in my 3 days. Well, you first have to take into account that I didn't stitch at least one of those days, but I didn't even make it around outlining the cat. Although I did a lot because I had like this swoop and I had come up, I want to say I had only come up part of the back of this first paw, this first leg.
Mhm.
So I went the rest of the way around, came up and around, put in the tail, and came over and got most of, or I got the whole head in. So really, I just have to do the front legs. But what I found out is that this pattern is just a bear to read. And I don't know if I'm really going to spend the time and get it on Pattern Keeper or not. I can show you. Those are the symbols. You can see where I did
Mhm.
blue around. There are
Yeah.
hearts in there. All of that light gray, those are hearts. But trying to
Oh.
figure out where in the world they were was just insane. And
Oh.
I just had the worst time trying to get it.
Mhm.
So, but I'm happy that I worked on this and that I got that far, and really I spent a chunk of my time the first night, I guess, going around that with my pencil because I decided it was not worth my time to sit and fight with it.
Right. Oh, for
And
sure.
that I would stitch faster if I just had it outlined. And
Yeah.
we got to work on these projects together at the library. We had
Yes,
our a meetup with some of our friends, and that was just so exciting to get to do that again.
it was. It was. We hadn't like sat down and stitched together for a long time, I feel like.
And we realized that the libraries in our area have done renovations, and the library we went to, I was looking at all of the pictures and I found that they had this big long table right down at the bottom of the stairs. So not in the main library floor. And it was down in front of young adults. And there's the mystery section right over by us too. And just, it was like a good place to be. The people who came down there were fairly quiet, and we
Mhm.
sat at the table and chatted quietly and just had a really lovely evening.
Yeah, yeah, it was really nice.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yeah, I have one more. So my last whip, and this is my plan to finish something this month, is I am working on Fright by Bent Creek. And this was a market release last year. I think it is just so much fun. Uh, it's not a very big guy. This is on a piece of 32 count limited edition from Color and Cotton, and you can see I have the frame in there. So it's not very wide. I have the whole width of it. Um, and I love the little pumpkin, the ghosts are fun. Uh, I am not using any of the called for floss on this. I took this pattern to Color and Cotton and I did a Color and Cotton thread conversion on it so I can show you, kind of have them all twisted up here. But here are my threads for it. So
Just
just a
look like
very,
Halloween mash there.
yes. So I love this. I have a couple thousand stitches left on it. I Evening Stroll had been my work piece whenever I have breaks at work. So now this is that piece.
Oh, fun.
I'm really excited about it.
The one that I pulled out to work on for Crow is Quaker Crow from the work basket. I
Mhm.
love this guy, and I'm stitching him on fabric that was dyed by one of the people at Keepsakes in Cincinnati. And if you saw it before, I had more in here, but I didn't have all of this. However, when I got to the top of this and started trying to make it fit in around here, I realized that I did not put the correct number of stitches between the two rows of chevrons.
Oh no.
So this is why I got so much catch-up work on Life After Death.
Mhm.
I am going to um, put this in Pattern Keeper just so that I can play with it to work they're supposed to be this far apart. And
Oh,
I
gotcha.
just need to work like this line and all this stuff up and around while getting all of this in too. And I'm
Hmm.
guessing I'm probably going to modify something in that, but
Yeah.
um I'll figure out. Katie was like, "Oh, just take this one stitch out and do it." And I'm like, "Yeah, but that doesn't work with the
Yeah.
little
That's
chevrons
everything.
around."
Hmm.
I love his feet.
Yes, they're fun.
So I need to do some prep work on him just to get him ready to be worked on next year. So that will be it. And then the prompt for today and tomorrow is skeleton. So I will
Mhm.
be back to Izzie Dekayen.
Yes, that's my plan too.
So the Stitch Hauntober, we have 13 prompts, and I when I randomized we didn't say you had to do them in any kind of order.
Mhm.
Um, and we just wanted you to play with the number 13 or 31 and get your stitches in. Just get stitches in this month. Whatever you can make it fit on is perfect with us. So that's pretty fun. But I'll work on that one. And then the 8th through the 10th, I get to work on Very Scary by Lizzie Kate. And that prompt is, I
The
didn't
bat.
write it. It's the bat.
Hmm.
Oh, I wrote it further down here. And then the 11th and 12th, I get to work on Orange Tree Sampler again. And that will bring us to next week, right? Yes.
So, yes.
So that's what I get to work on in this next week. And that will be a lot of fun.
Fun. So ours will kind of match up because I'm going to be working on Izzie Dekayen for the skeleton, and then I will be working on Halloween Wreath for the bat, and then I'll work on the orange tree sampler as well. So,
I love that you pulled out your Halloween wreath. And okay, I did kind of what you're doing this year. That's what I did last year. I only picked out about 4 pieces to focus on, and then
mhm.
maybe I would throw in one here and there. And I don't know why, but I just got a wild hair when we came up with all the prompts. And I had here's the downside of having all of my whips right there. I
Mhm.
went through every whip and I just threw them to the side if they were fall or Halloween.
Yeah.
And so then I had them all out and I'm like, but I want to work on everything.
Yeah.
And
So,
I worked on about a little over half, or I will work on a little over half of my whips.
right. And there are a couple of prompts that you had that I have something that I could make work for the prompts. I have a pattern that would work, but it's not one of the three that I want to focus on. So on those on those days, I'm just going to work on the one that's closest to the finish so that I can get more stitches in on Fright.
Oh,
Is my
nice. Which ones didn't meet a prompt for you?
so and these are all on the Black Needle Society's Instagram, Facebook page. It's in the Flosstube video too. Um, Fall leaves and acorn. I could make the camp piece for this year work for both of those prompts because there's a leaf and there's an acorn, but I just wanted to work on my Halloween stuff.
That's fun though. So your pieces are the wreath. and they're not on
Halloween leaves.
there. That seems
No,
so
no.
weird with everything that's on there.
Sure. Yeah, no, there are no leaves because I kind of looked to see if I could make that work too. There are no leaves and there are no acorns.
Wow. And Izzie Dekayen, of course, doesn't have any of those things. Orange Tree
Right.
Sampler has leaves.
Oh, that's true. But I'm just pulling that out because you're working on it.
Oh, and the acorn, my acorn is at first cocks crows, so it's a big sampler, which also has a 31, which if you watched our video, my piece for 31 actually says the 30th.
Yeah.
So, but it's also in three shades, in three colors, and one of them is black, which is 310 if you're using DMC.
Right.
So, I'm making that work there too.
And that's what I'm using because I couldn't find none of the three that I want to work on have a 31. So
I
that's
have
what I work.
31 on two or three of my pieces.
That's
That's
so
what's
fun.
funny. But when we were shuffling to get a couple of my samplers in, because we're not saying this is all Halloween, we're saying fall and Halloween.
Mhm.
So I was trying to get a couple of fall pieces in there, and
Mhm.
one of them really, it's just bands. It's a pretty band sampler. So
Mhm.
it doesn't fit anything. And we made it fit. I think we made it fit black and orange
Mhm.
because one of the colors is black in there and there are lots of orange. So you guys will get to
Fun.
see all these projects. And if you want a
Yeah.
preview of mine, like Keisha said, they're on the Black Needle. And Katie and I
Mhm.
will be filming later today to film an update since we've done our first project, our first two projects, and we'll be switching to our third.
Fun. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, you'll see Lara's stuff over here, but Katie has great Halloween. Halloween is Katie's season. She has some cool stuff.
And Katie started a really cool one for our friend Cece's birthday. And Cece lost their mind when they saw the fabric that Katie is using for it. So
Awesome.
it's pretty cool. And Katie got a start on it. And so now we can kind of see how it's going to be on the fabric because it's another crazy fabric. Katie will take big chances and gets
Yeah.
big rewards out of it.
Awesome. I can't wait to watch and see.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So I think that there are plenty of shenanigans going on.
Oh, yeah, and we could ramble about this forever.
Yes, we could. But instead, for today, we're just going to say bye.
Bye. Have a good week.